I knew that bringing electricity to my village was going to take more than just a bicycle dynamo, or any wizard's best magic. And anyway, my family couldn't afford to buy either of those things. But I did have one bit of hope. I would soon be taking my final exams to leave primary school. If I passed and advanced to secondary school, what kids in America call middle school, I knew I'd be studying more science. Several schools had special science programs where students got to work on all kinds of experiments. If I could get into one of those places, perhaps my dream of becoming a scientist would come true. My current school, Wemby Primary, certainly didn't seem like a place where scientists come from. It was located down the wooden trail from Gilbert's house, just opposite the mosque. It was a community school supported by the government, and the conditions were quite shabby. The iron sheets on the roof were full of holes, and when it rained, the water poured down on us. The rooms were too small for the large number of students, and some classes were held outside under trees. With all the trucks going past, plus the birds, insects, and people walking around, it was impossible to concentrate. The administrators didn't provide us with lesson books of our own. The teachers always ran out of chalk, and most students never owned a pencil. Ask any child in Malawi to spell their name or give the sum of 2 times 2, and they'll probably scribble the answer in the dirt with their finger. Another problem at Wembe were the toilets, just a few grass huts with a deep hole covered with logs. It didn't take long for the termites to make their nests inside those logs and eat them hollow. One afternoon they finally collapsed, with my classmate Angela squatting atop them. Several hours passed before someone heard her crying from the slimy bottom and helped her out. She was so traumatized that we never saw her again. In order to graduate from Wembe Primary and advance to secondary school, I had to pass a test. And it was a hard test. The Standard 8 exam covered every subject and lasted for 3 whole days. For several months I stayed awake past dark and studied beside the smoky lamp. I spent hours reading over my lessons in Chichewa, English, math, social studies, and agriculture, a subject that we all had to take because we were farmers. For the most part, my Chichewa lessons were easy, so I spent most of my time working on English, which I found very difficult. For agriculture, they wanted us to know things like how to tell if your animals were sick with infections, and if so, how to help cure them. Most kids already knew these kinds of things from working with their fathers, but even still, I wanted to make sure my answers were perfect. I took the test in mid-September. For 3 torturous days, I bit my nails over equilateral triangles and circumferences and whether Amprol or iodine was the right kind of medicine for a chicken with blood in its poop. I was a bundle of nerves by the time I finished, but I felt confident. The only bad part was that the grades wouldn't be announced for another 3 months, leaving me with a lot of time for worry. Unlike in America, secondary school wasn't free. It cost money to attend, and because of that, most kids in Malawi didn't even bother going. My older sister Annie was already halfway finished with her schooling, and I couldn't wait to have my own chance. Another exciting thing about the upper grades was getting a new uniform. Soon I could ditch the little boy shorts required for younger students and walk tall in trousers. Once my exam was over, I waited for Gilbert to finish. "No more short pants for us," I said when he appeared. "That's right. And until we start school again, our mornings are free. What shall we do?" "Let's get Kamba and go hunting," I said. "It's been too long." "Yeah, for sure." We were halfway home when Kamba met us on the trail, tail wagging, as if he'd heard my every word. That afternoon, the 3 of us hunted for hours until the yellow sun sank behind the highlands. With our sacks full, we walked home under an orange dusk and made a great fire in the courtyard, cooked our birds, and ate like men.